Good, princess.
This is it. Nicely done, my expert already.
We'll say a bit more about this further on, but that's a bit of coral.
Alright.
And the coral reef is a bit just under there as well.
Oh yeah.
So we'll point that out to people as we come past, but it's nice to see.
Well done, excellent.
Oh, look at that.
You guys, as you come along, have a little look at this. So that's a bit of coral from the coral reef.
Nicholas.
A bit like again the Great Barrier Reef on Bahamas, the Caribbean, all the areas around the equator. Bit of coral there. So we'll tell you a bit about that soon. So we're going to go over here now. Just flat out for a little bit, but then it comes hand to me.
Yeah, I haven't got padded knees.
What do you think, William?
A little small.
It's good, isn't it? You're doing great. Just keep taking your time and come to me.
Time.
Nice up here. Nice and small.
So you've done the smallest bit, it all gets bigger now.
Okay, good. Very small.
Good.
What do you think of that then, Willie? Is that cool or what?
Yeah.
If you look back over where you've come from, William, and look at the ceiling.
Look at the ceiling, yeah?
Yeah.
So what do you call those things that are hanging down?
Biospikes?
Say it again?
Biospikes.
That sounds quite good actually.
It does sound good. But
It's there.
It sounds cool. That sounds cool.
stalactites.
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 I can't say it.
And can you see look where my head torch is?
There, down there. Doing very
You
well.
see the ones on the bottom that are pointing upwards?
Uh-huh.
They're stalagmites. And please correct me if I get this wrong, Mike.
So we've got the stalactites hanging from the roof, they cling tightly to the ceiling, and then the stalagmites, the ones below that grow up from the floor.
They might get to the top one
Might
day.
get to the top. Yeah.
And you can see some have. If you look at those ones
Yeah.
up there, they've joined together, top and bottom.
Yeah. Seriously, you're getting squished there.
I was seriously getting squished there.
That's it. So you
Hands there if you need it. Just a bit of a squeeze.
Scared.
You alright?
There's a hand. There's a hand here and a hand at your dad, so we can just walk down.
Don't forget you've got wellies on, so you can just
You've got
stand in the
wellies on,
water.
So you can stand.
It's no problem at all. And look how grippy your wellies are.
So if you can even sit down if you like.
Yeah,
You might
sit.
find easy to sit down, then you can
Yeah.
slide down.
I'm scared.
Alright, just sit.
You're
Just
right,
sit.
William. You're doing well.
You're doing great. That's it.
So don't worry about the water, it'll be quite refreshing. And you will get wet feet a bit later as well.
Yeah, well, my left foot's wet. My welly's leaking.
We gave your daddy some leaky wellies.
Yeah, so just to give you more to laugh at.
That's it.
You can stand in the water though. It's fine.
Well done.
Yeah, I don't
Good
want.
lad.
I'm gonna try my best not to get wet. Oh, I'm gonna get wet right now.
I think you will.
Sit
It's
down
not
there,
too
Eleanor.
bad. You'll. It's quite refreshing.
Go on, just
Do you want to
and slide
come
forward a bit.
Huh?
So you can. That's it. Crouch down. Get stuff down there.
Yeah, just stand in the
If I were
water.
you,
It's
I'll
fine.
get some water in your welly, and then it's over and done with.
Yeah.
That's That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze through there, Nick. You got to get your hip sideways.
Good man, well done.
That's it. Excellent stuff, Nick.
Good work.
And then don't be shy about standing in the water. I've got a squishy left welly. The water is squishing in my foot. That's cool, isn't it?
Alright.
A lot of water and change from Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah. Basically, you're meant to mine different ores.
Oh. So you can have a little sit down and
Have a seat.
then see.
Space there, Nick.
And I can stretch people when they come.
Exactly.
How are you finding it, Nick?
Sorry. So yeah, someone just can stand up.
It's alright for some.
Oh, dear. I think if you stood there, you'd be able to stand up though. I think you could. I think you could. Yes.
Yeah.
My foot's so cold.
Down that scary tunnel or down that scary tunnel?
They're not scary. There's no skeletons down there.
There you go. Right there. This way in a minute. You go this way and then you come back and we're going to go that one. So we're going to do both. We'll do both together.
Why, hello!
Hello.
Why, hello! That was his idea.
Oh.
You're the one who mentioned you could splash people when they came through. It was just a joke.
We're going that way.
So, guys and girls, did Daddy have to crawl like a little worm?
Yes.
Yeah, was it funny?
Yes.
They're mostly laughing because my left welly leaks.
Yeah.
Well, he always touches the ceiling when he's
Sat
sitting
down.
down.
I know. A lot of
I
players
can't
anyway.
even stand up here without bending my knees. Well, I can stand up just fine.
Aha, you've been eating your carrots. You're nice and tall, young lady.
Doesn't like carrots.
So did you all see the coral back there? I know I pointed out to Kevin and Miller. So that's kind of cool because it just reminds you about what this place was like 350 million years ago. So this is all limestone and this was all formed in a shallow tropical sea. So a bit like you've got around, you know, the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
It's just like, this was just like that 350 million years ago. So all this rock is actually coral and other marine life and organisms which have died, fallen to the bottom of the sea, and then over millions of years that's been compressed, compacted into limestone rock. So as we go on today, we'll see bits of coral. It's all nice and tough now, isn't it? We'll see coral, but also look out for like discs, sort of white discs, and they're shells. Shells that kind of weathered away and then been filled
That's
in.
weird.
So these are stalagmites. So you've already seen some formations. You've got stalactites coming down from the roof, and then where they drip, they land on the floor and leave another bit of calcite which grows up beneath. So we'll see a few more formations as we go along. But,
We're going this way.
yeah, should we wander down here a little to
Yeah.
change it?
We'll let the tall people go.
Let the tall people go there.
Wait, are we going to the Chamber of Secrets from Harry Potter?
What's that?
Are we going to the Chamber of Secrets from Harry Potter?
Might be.
Yes, we are indeed. In fact, this is it.
Brilliant. So if you come down, and yeah, I'll get you to go around the corner here. So again, you can sit down if you like, and then slither down. And then if you go around the corner there, us tall people can step across if you like.
Let's come around here.
So, got our first little obstacle here, a bit of a slither down. It's all really polished though, so you just slide down. What I'll do is I'll go down first, and then I can help you down. So it's not too far. You can see 5 foot's about huge. So what you need to do is get sat down in. Yeah, so if you come along with your feet, and then you can come along here. And then, oh, you're alright, absolutely. So then you can sit down basically where your feet are. So let your feet come down here and then sit down.
You're alright there, William.
You're doing well.
Okay.
So then, what I'll do,
Yeah.
I'm going to get this right foot onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, let's see,
That's shapes of black.
there, and then slither down. What I'll do is I'll,
Love wearing shirts to say that in Irish.
there we go. So then, if you want to come past me, I'll twist it around. If you want to come past me, then you can wait for me straight up.
The thing I remind you to do when you're in here is keep looking around because it's a very busy street over
That's it.
Yeah, just this.
Another down. Ah, you're almost halfway there. So you get your foot onto there. That's the one. And then what you want to do is like reach out with your body and then just slither down like this. That's it. That's it. And you, there you go. Nice one. Good effort.
That's it. You find that ledge? Yeah. And then get yourself positioned and you can reach all the way down to the floor. Nice one.
You see the cave's getting bigger and bigger as we go back. I mean, I think even me and your dad are oh, the stalactite, yeah, it's a bit bigger those ones, aren't they? Even your dad and I are not struggling to stand up here.
All right, yeah.
So we've gone from quite a flat out crawl on the entrance and now it's something a bit more sizable. And it does get bigger and bigger basically until it breaks out to the side of that huge open shaft we can see that we walk.
No.
No, I've got hands here. Do you need it? Well done. Ah.
Right.
Are you sure you haven't been caving before?
No.
Well, you must have caveman genes in you because you are a natural.
Wait for William to clear, and then you're going to play.
That's okay because I've got your belt, so you ain't going anywhere.
You're loving it, Nick.
Yeah.
I got you, so if you switch, you ain't going anywhere.
Do the most pictures I've got of Nick in years. He hides from the camera these days.
Yeah, I do a bit as well.
If you want to try a little bit, something that's a little bit harder and a little bit kind of rock climbing, yes, you can traverse along here, but I warn you, it's slopey. So when I come along here, instead of trying to reach up into there, I use this side of the step.
Go on, Mammy, you go through the middle.
Hand here.
No,
And
thank
then
you.
I can swing around. And this way.
And you want me to go into the middle in case one of them
Like I
slips?
say, it's far more fun just to go straight through the middle of the pool. But it's whichever you like to do. And then when you're coming up here, you can just do either the beach whale maneuver.
Ah, I was getting a bit warm.
We were sizzling yesterday as we went in.
Go on then, William, if you're coming round. I don't want to stand here all day, but I'll stand here and look after you.
Okay.
You're in now, you might as well just walk through the water.
Oh my
Can you
goodness,
feel
that
it?
is cold.
You feel like coming into your welly now?
Yes. I can't. That is freezing.
Well, it's in now, just come round.
Come on.
It's refreshing. I'm sure
It
we
is.
sizzled as we got in here yesterday, didn't it?
Oh my
I was thinking I'd put too many layers on until I stood in here.
That's it. You walk
Well
around.
done, William.
Your dad will guide you, and then
You're alright, because that's why I've come here, so you can't go anywhere. See, I've got you.
you might be able to reach that. Maybe.
Yeah, that one.
That's it.
I don't do that.
And then you put it in your hands. That's it.
Eleanor,
If you keep going all
Nice.
day.
the other hand,
William, I'm impressed.
otherwise twisting all the way around.
So cold.
Right. So we'll get up here now.
So just
what I
walk on those
suggest,
edges.
sit on my right knee.
See the edges are
Let's see
just
if
out
you
of the
can
water.
Bring yourself a bit closer, and let's see if you can get your right foot on my right knee. You can just hook on. And you
Your wellies aren't slipping, are
Now, you
So
can
good?
hold on to mine.
hold on, Steph, yeah.
they? You got it?
That's it. And then, let's see if you can get your right foot because there. That's it. If you stand on that,
Can you get that knobbly bit? That's it.
Fantastic.
see, this is where you
Mike,
can make use
can
of
you,
the. Oh, there we go. That's it, you can lean on me.
So when you're kind of going for this,
Keep stood
this
down.
one here is really good.
That's the one. What I want you to do now.
Easy for you, Nick. Straight under there.
And if you see my right knee, get yourself stood on my right knee. That's it.
And put the second hand on there for a second if you want, or keep leaning on these. And then you're going for this one that your arm's on. I'll just have my hand here. If you slide it all, I'll just touch
Do you
it.
wait for us when you go to the next school,
So with
sweetheart?
this I often find is kind of get the knees up onto here. And then just kind of walk up with my knees.
Can you put your right hand round onto there? Maybe?
This is a good one here to lean against there.
Yeah.
Get a hand on that and then one on there.
That's it.
Bring one hand to here.
So you want to go right leg first around up it.
And then you sort of swing round. That's it. And once you're across here, you just tall, so you just fly up there.
Very refreshing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wasn't hesitating yesterday.
This is what we were doing yesterday, just standing about in the river playing.
Just in the light.
Yeah. Discovering that the wellies are heavy when they're wet, when they're full of water.
I see the hole.
There's a hole. There's a hole in my wellie. Go on.
See Mike here, he's just stepping across and he's using lots of little handholds in here, okay? And do you see how he's got his feet on that little triangular bit of rock? Yeah, so that's perfect. Someone's actually chiseled that out.
I think it probably happened. I'm going to keep it up here.
Yeah.
So it means that if you fall on me, at least maybe I won't go in there. But
Maybe.
It's a swimmer.
I have been in it.
That's good over everybody thinks it's fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
I
you're going to
don't
go
see
up first then.
Hi.
Demonstrate.
I'm going to stand here. Pat you if you can slip.
Nice.
So get yourself stood upright without whacking your head.
I'll go through next, and I can keep an eye on people at the other end.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, you can see if you reach that, I'll reach this bit here. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to put my knee there. So you lean on my shoulder, and you want to stand on there next. That's it. And then you can hold on to this sling as
I'll
well.
go through
like.
next, and I can keep an eye on her at the other side.
So, what we're doing now, put my knee there, so you've got to stand on that next.
But you're still being awesome, and that's what's so impressive.
And then you can stand on my knee again. Up to you now. That's it.
Yay, well
Nice one.
Just walk up. All the way up. Bring your weight next to
And we're not doing good. Nothing else to do it. That's it. We've got some good handholds. That's it.
Stuff, Nick. You made that look easy.
Make it look so easy.
Actually,
Nice one.
Thanks for your naked.
Thank you.
I'll let you go. I'm crawling right at the start.
look, yours is the one she said.
You can tell you're a caver, not a climber, because you're on your knees all the time.
Oh, yeah. I know, it's hilarious when I climb, people are like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm getting up on time.
Well, both ways is quite funny. Caver's going climbing, it's on knees and elbows. When you read climbers down here, they're kind of like tiny little holes and like, just get your knee.
Yeah, let's get your bum in there. It's like, there's loads of grippers.
Bits of flow stone, pools.
Oh. Yeah, it's all these little ripples. I guess these are different layers from.
Yeah, just where it layers up, it kind of bunches up and hits in like unlevel bits in the rock beneath, I suppose. Yeah, those little holes from here into. Well, little alcoves, not the best formation. Just untouched.
This is just like a massive stream bed, okay? It almost looks like a dry stream, but that's because that's exactly what it is. Well done. And so this is a river, but it's just an underground river, and it's the action of that water flowing over here that actually has made this cave so big. So if water is the thing that's been creating this, where do you think the cave started? Does it start at the bottom, or does it start at the top?
I would think it's also the top before the water now.
Yes, so it comes in the crack at the top, and then it dissolves down the passage that you see.
So you didn't stop growing.
Exactly, so the oldest bit of the cave is in the top. And then do you see how there's all this beautiful patterning? Do you see how it's all like scalloped? Yeah? So, well, this is what we call scalloping, and it's really cool because cavers use it to find their way underground. And how we do that is if you find a bit that doesn't have flowstone, so it's just rock, like here, and we rub our hands one way and the next. This is a really good example here. You'll find that one way feels relatively smooth and then one way is a little bit prickly. And the points in the scallops always point downstream. So even here where there isn't any water really flowing, so it's hard to tell what's upstream and downstream, the scallops can tell us the direction that the water flows. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And then you see all these white things here? These are all seashells from a few million years ago. So when you
Having fun,
go
yeah?
to the water,
Yeah.
we need to wait for the air to be there.
I can stand up most of the time.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? It is mostly stood up from now, which is why. Look.
How can you notice that the smell has changed? No, the temperature has changed. And that's because we're right near an entrance. So you can see a little bit of daylight out there. So if we crawl through there, we'd come out where we started at our entrance to what's called Dick in the Pot. Now this is a flat out crawl, so we won't take in the flat out crawl through water. I don't think William would like that very much. Now, here we've got two options. So if you like to take the kind of rock climbing route, you can go up to the oxbow. If you like to take the fun splashing through the water with a little bit of a waterfall, we can go that way. So hands up, who would like to go through the oxbow? Will you? Fantastic. So what I might do, Nicholas, is I'll send you through first, okay? When you pop down into the streamway on the other side, you just wait there, yeah? Then you can keep an eye on this little man. Yeah, so if you have a little on that side, and then you put yourself up on there.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
Are you going up the waterfall then, Alma? Sorry? You can go this way and just walk through the water rather than climbing. Which way would you like to go?
I don't really want to get wet though.
Yeah.
Would you like to come through the water with me, or would you like to go into the climb?
I'll go.
Yeah, you're going to go with me, but I'll Welcome, fantastic.
How deep is it?
It's not deep at all. Do you want to watch your daddy get wet? Do you know I found a big fish in there one day?
Hang on, princess. Keep moving now.
You are doing amazing! Well done. You are fine, I can tell. You're absolutely
fine. Come on, princess. Just one step at a time. Good. Really good there, Lily. You go. Come further around before you go up if you want. That'll be a bit easier.
You're gonna love the takeoff from the top of this.
Trying to let the water out.
Yeah, set out a heat simulator there.
On the ground.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Alright, so what we do is head our way this upstream and then we'll be able to stand up again in about a minute. You're going to make your way upstream, just the way you can stand up properly. Yeah, alright, you go.
Oh, let's stand up. William, come this way. Oh,
Aha! Daylight everywhere! You've now been in 3 different caves. You've been in Dickon, you've been in Lower Longturn, and now you're in Upper Longturn. So you up for a bit more caving? Yeah, well, let me break the news to you. There's going to be loads more water going into those lilies of yours. Did you like climbing up beside the waterfall? That's pretty cool, isn't it? I bet you've not done that before. No, they're great. So now we're in Upper Longturn. This cave gets really big and it's really, really beautiful. So follow me.
yeah, big man.
So do you notice how the ceiling is all glistening? So these are what are called Yorkshire diamonds. Yorkshire diamonds. Very, very expensive.
Yeah, take some Yorkshire diamonds home for Maddie.
These are called Yorkshire diamonds because they're closest thing to a diamond you'll get from Yorkshireman. But basically, this is just loads of water droplets and they're a sign that you're near a cave entrance, okay? Anybody have any idea why you get loads of droplets of water near the entrance to a cave?
Because there's always the most water near the surface. But I was thinking because it's very cold in the cave, but it's very warm outside, so then you're back from it.
You are an absolute genius, young lady, absolutely. So what Eleanor was saying, for anybody who didn't hear, is that basically what's happening is condensation. So the cave is really cold, and the air outside has got moisture and warmth in it, so when the warm air comes and hits the cold, it condenses. So if you're in a cave and you got mislaid, this would tell you that there has to be an entrance or an exit somewhere in your body. That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
My glove is soaking.
Good. That's a sign of
Nick,
a proper adventure.
you want to straighten your back?
So
Sit on it. There you go.
everyone talking about it. Notice how the limestone is a grey colour, but this is not the same colour as limestone. What do you think is going on? It's a black stone. This is actually brick stone. And so what's going on here is that we're actually inside and beneath a mountain, and the mountain is Ingleborough. So you know this big mountain I was joking about earlier that we're going to have to go to the top of? That's Ingleborough. Now Ingleborough is a really interesting mountain because about 2/3 of the height of it is made of this stuff called limestone, which makes cavers really excited because you find loads of caves in it. But the very top of Ingleborough is actually gritstone. It's a different type of rock, and that's not soluble in water. Now what's going on here is that the water that's falling on Ingleborough, it goes and rolls down the gritstone, but then when it hits limestone, it finds little cracks and then crevices, and then it flows down beneath. And so it's actually, the entrance to this cave is really quite big. So sometimes the river on the surface can bring some of this other different type of rock down in.
William, this is the kind of rock that we have where we live, gritstone.
Yeah, like gritstone.
Well, you know the rocks that we were playing on, which day was that, Tuesday? They were gritstone rocks.
When we went for a picnic, we're climbing up.
Really interested.
Now, William and Eleanor, I have a little challenge with you both. I want you to walk up here a little bit, and when you see that there's a little passage to your right, I want you to go for a little explore in there.
Is this where we run out the other way?
Yeah, go for lunch.
Go for lunch? I was going to head to the airport.
Let's not. Let's all just gather here for a second. So, I've got a question for you, little explorers. Which direction is the entrance in? So, do you remember I showed you where the daylight was? Which direction?
Which way would you go? Eleanor's pointing that way.
Pointing that way.
That way.
William's pointing the other way.
Somewhere.
Me and William were
Around for ages.
Well done, Eleanor.
Fantastic. So I've spun you around and I've sent you back on yourselves, which isn't that very obvious. So the thing is, if the water wasn't here, you could use the scallops on the wall to tell your way because the water is flowing downstream and out of the entrance that I showed you. And you can see that the scallops are going that way. So I've sent you through a little oxbow as a little trick, but you could feel. We had a group once, favorite group battles.
I'm sorry.
Well done, Eleanor.
And one of them was this big like tree tombstone man, and I was
That's it. Feet first, Eleanor.
excited that everybody else was going. It was like, oh, I
Lie on your front.
I just remember getting this like lump in the back of my throat. So oh, I'm not so sure. And he did it. Do you want to do it again? And then well done, Eleanor.
Who's following Eleanor?
You are.
Me. Okay. I'll just finish filming and then I'll go.
You've actually got a belt helmet for this? No, it's
Really good view, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Sway a bit. Put your head in. Here you go, keep going.